They call it the end times prophecy. You know the one. There'll be wars and rumors of wars, nation against nation, earthquakes in many places, the doom and gloom fear-based prophecies. But nobody ever talks about what happened right before Jesus said that. Before he ever spoke about the end of the world, and that's what he called it, not end times, end of the world, he entered Jerusalem and walked straight into the temple and flipped the entire system upside down. Jerusalem. Jerusalem means the foundation of peace. It is the dwelling place of God. And he went straight to the temple, not just a building of stones, not churches, but to the very essence of who we are. Remember the book's about us. It's the dwelling place, the presence, the place of divine manifestation within you and me, the sacred space of oneness where heaven and earth meet. He went straight to the heart because the outer temple was only ever a mirror of the inner one. How we believe in our own individual lives is mirrored outside in our world, in our environment, and the same as a collective. And what Jesus found there wasn't peace, it was performance. The sacred had been traded for systems, the inner communion replaced with outer control. The people were paying their way in. They were told that they had to purchase purity and perform rituals to be accepted by God. It had become a marketplace built on fear, guilt, and striving. It was performance-based religion, which is alive and well today, trading intimacy for approval, grace for guilt, and love for law. So when Jesus walked in, he confronted that mindset, that whole system head on, and he flipped the money changers' tables. Now the word flipped, it means to reverse, to demolish, to completely change the established order. And what was that order that he changed? The belief that you have to earn what's already within you. The whole performance-based system and the idea that God, the divine, is outside of you. He wasn't just turning over tables. He was turning over a complete mindset, a system. He was reversing the order from earning to receiving freely, from striving to resting, from separation to oneness. He was showing them, and you and me, that the true temple, the real dwelling place of God, was never out there, but it's within us. The kingdom of God is within. After that, he turns to the religious leaders, the scribes and Pharisees, and he calls them hypocrites, blind guides, whitewashed tombs. He was exposing how they looked holy on the outside, but their hearts were far from the presence. It was ego-based. And he ends with these words, "Behold, your house is left unto you desolate." Desolate means abandoned, barren, empty. It's lifeless. A house that once carried the presence, now hollowed out by religion, pride, and ego. Then he leaves the temple. He leaves that whole system behind. And as he's walking away, the disciples look back at the building, looks at their stones, its beauty and its glory, and they say, "Look, Master, what magnificent stones, what a temple." And Jesus answers them and he says, "See ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down." Now, yes, that outer temple, that building, did fall just as he said in 70 AD. The stones were literally torn apart, but that outer collapse of that building was only a shadow of the inner one, the end of the age, not the end of a world, the end of performance-based religion. He's speaking to the collapse of every man-made structure, every system that we've built to reach or access what was never lost or outside of us, because it's been within us the entire time. The word stone means something cut or shaped. Something separated from the whole to form a structure of its own. And that is exactly what we have done. Our soul, our mind, will, emotions, our hearts have not been Spirit-led. We started building our mindset, our thoughts, our beliefs around the idea that God is outside of us. We turned inner oneness into performance, building layers and ladders to reach a God who was never separate from us. And that's what Jesus came to tear down. Not people, but patterns. Not temples of stone, but temples of wrong thoughts. Not one stone upon another. Not one false belief will remain standing when the truth begins to arise in us. The truth sets us free. So when he said not one stone will be left upon another, he was not predicting chaos out there. He was describing an awakening within us. The outer temple falling is the mirror of the inner one. The collapse of every false belief, every wall we have built between us and God. Awakening to it's within. The kingdom of God is within. This was never about the end of the world. It was about the end of the illusion of separation. But right after Jesus says this, the disciples pull him aside and ask, when will all these things happen? What are the signs? And that's when he says the words that everyone knows. There will be wars and rumors of wars. Nation will rise against nation. But when he said that, he wasn't talking about global destruction at all. He was revealing something happening inside of us. The entire book is about our soul's evolution, awakening, and understanding that God is not separate from us and has never been. The divine is within us. Spirit knows that. And letting your spirit guide your heart. And that's where we're going tomorrow. Because those wars and those rumors are not what we have been taught. They're not what we think that they are. Tomorrow we're going to get into that in a deep, studied out video. Stay tuned.